What is going on, beautiful people? Devon Travell, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. No fancy intro, no fancy title for this series. We're about to talk about some interesting Black history and business moves that are happening. If you haven't heard, stop texting me. I know you're on live right now. Text me. Stop for a second. All right. But if you haven't heard, LA has finally decided to give back Bruce's Beach land and property to the Bruce's family and descendants. If you haven't heard about Bruce's Beach before, we're about to get into it shortly. Let's go. All right. So real quick, turn of the century, right? 1900s, we're looking at 1910 to 1920. We see a huge uptick in the number of middle class Americans that are around. And these middle class Americans, for the first time, right, want to start engaging in some leisure activity. This is vacations, resorts, eating out, restaurants, shopping, going to the beach, all that good stuff. And in this wave of middle class Americans, mostly white Americans that are living this lifestyle, there's also a rising working class of Black, African Americans, Japanese, and Mexican folks that are out here trying to also live a life of leisure. But heavy forms of discrimination, even in California, which I know we see like, oh, the South, that's where all the discrimination was. That's where the Jim Crow was. But even when you moved up to Chicago, you moved up to Harlem, New York, and all the way to Los Angeles, there was still discrimination amongst the classes and amongst the races, right? So what this a beautiful melanated family did, and this was Willa and Charles Bruce. They moved out to Los Angeles and they bought themselves some beachfront property right near Manhattan Beach, right? So if you ever come to LA and visit Manhattan Beach, visit Bruce's Beach, visit Crenshaw District, come over and just have a good time. Understand the Black roots in LA. Leimert Park, right? If you're up in the Bay Area, go to Hunters Point. Some good spots out there. But they had a nice resort right on the beach. But the state of California, Los Angeles County took away their land, right? They had a resort, and I'm gonna do a complete Black Study Snacks on this. It's going to be much more official. There's going to be slides, animation, music, all that good stuff. But as I'm just seeing this news happening, I want to capture this and talk about it. So leave your comments below if you learned about Bruce's Beach, if you've heard of it, or what you think the community should do with this land now. By community, it's going to be up to the Bruce's family, right? It's completely up to them. But as we envision what can be there now, what businesses, what new hotels, what resorts, or does it remain a nice sanctuary park? Do we put a museum there? Like what happens with that land now? Let us know. But let's go ahead and let's share the screen and let me show you what NPR is talking about. A beachfront property taken from a Black family a century ago may soon be returned. In 1924, a flourishing beach resort for Black people along the Southern California coast was seized by the local city through eminent domain. If you haven't heard of eminent domain before, it's when the government can say, hey, we need to use this land for the greater good of the community. We need to use this land to build a university, to build a park, to do something that's going to be for the public good. They use eminent domain to kind of stop and suppress the rebuilding of Tulsa's Black Wall Street in the 1940s, 50s. They use eminent domain to take away the land and the property in Seneca Village, where they put Central Park. And again, they use eminent domain here for taking away Bruce's Beach. Very interesting. I don't know if there's any type of defense against eminent domain. Y'all let me know what you think. But getting back into it, the state reason was to build a park, but historical records show the resort was shut down because the resort owners and its patrons were Black. This was the Black section of Manhattan Beach. If you're visiting from anywhere, right, and you want to visit the California beach and you're Black and you're not possibly allowed, or you're not given good patronage and customer service at maybe white sector of the beach, you go to Bruce's Beach, right? They had a lodge there. They had towels for you to use. They had good food. Like, you know, it was the spot. Now an effort to return what is known as Bruce's Beach to descendants of its original owners and make amends for historical wrong is poised to become a reality. So short into it, you know, do some research about Bruce's Beach, and we will do a Black Study Snacks probably next week, 2 weeks from now, on Bruce's Beach and the history of it. But they want to make amends. I think to make amends, there needs to be some type of compensation. Because if you think about 100 years of real estate equity on the beach, think about what the Bruce's family could have built in 100 years. Right? Even if it's like 3 homes on Manhattan Beach waterfront, that's easily millions of dollars, right? But knowing that that family and their consciousness, their entrepreneurial work ethic, they already owned multiple homes before they even moved to California. They would have built up an entire empire right there on the beach. So to me, there needs to be a little, not a little bit, there needs to be definitely more than just giving the land back. There needs to be some type of cash payout. There needs to be some type of subsidies for construction. There needs to be some type of deal to help them rebuild and build up Bruce's Beach to what it would have been if they would have been able to live and prosper for these hundreds of years. That's four generations, right? 4 or 5 generations of people that missed out on that generational wealth. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pay back. I don't know why they use those words, but I am excited, if that's a word that I can use in this environment. I am excited to see what the Bruce family does with this section of land. The fact that this land is coming back to the Black community, to a Black family, I think we can see some really cool, exciting things on that land. But go ahead, leave your comments below. Let us know. Let me know what you think should be done with that land. Let us know if there's any possible way you think LA County or the state of California can pay back the Bruce's family for their losses. Of course, make sure y'all like and subscribe. It helps us out. We appreciate you. And yeah, make sure y'all stay healthy. Peace.